to seizures, strokes, to lungs, blood sugar, hormone responses, bone spurs, you name it. Soreness after training, muscle wasting after being inactive for 6 months, laying in a bed, all healing. Your emotions and feelings are the same because emotions and feelings are scattered all through all of those. They're all a part of all that. There's emotions and feelings with physical. There's physical with emotions and feelings. There's mind and spirit all intertwined. You can't segregate any of it. You can't pull any of it out. So if you want to deal with an injury, you got to deal with emotions and mindset and feelings. If you want to deal with digestion, you got to deal with, if you want to deal with emotions, you got to deal with digestion, physical. It's all everything all the time. But our starting point is your body's responses, including your thoughts and feelings, are never a pathology. Not fucking ever, no matter how dark they are. No matter how gruesome, no matter how horrible, they are perfect responses to what you have experienced. Done. Start there. And now we help to make sense. Now there's an understanding. We need a common ground to start from. Um, Otherwise it just gets very first two rows and I go every other person and I'm standing on stage and I'm like, okay, before we begin, each person raise your hand, every other. Okay. Each one of you has your hand raised. You're going to come up on stage at one at a time. And the sound guy's going to play a song clip for 10 seconds and you're going to freestyle dance just to get everybody going, get everybody charged up. And I kind of let that build for a while. And then I watch them and the crowd's talking and they're all themselves or some are excited. And then I come back after about a minute. That's felt about 10 minutes. And I'm like, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. In fact, I hate public speakers that do shit like that, like force you to get up and do stuff. Um, but can I ask you something? How many of you are sweating? And there was a good number of them. How many of you can feel your heart rates or felt your blood pressure kind of rise? Because we can feel pressure rise. How many of you are angry? A couple of them. How many of you are excited and happy and jovial? Boom, a couple of them. How many of you feel like vomiting or have a headache or, all right. How many of you are cottonmouth? You in the crowd, how do you guys feel? You feel fantastic. Okay. So I presented an event and we had infinite different feelings and emotional responses. If we were to go a step further, we would ask them all these questions, and there would be all these different responses to the single event. If we were to pull their blood, there's going to be all these different hormone responses and inflammatory responses. There are going to be different lipid profile panels. You're going to have different blood pressure. You're going to have different heart rate coherence. You're going to have different brain waves. You're going to have different freaking everything. Muscle effect, energy loss, fatigue. You're going to have all these different and energy ramp, strength. So there's infinite responses to the single event. Now, I would ask them, are any of your responses wrong? And they're all like, no. Even the ones that don't feel good. No. No, that's stupid. What if I showed you blood markers and hormone markers to attach to your feelings? No. And if we gave some of them food, they wouldn't be able to digest it because they're freaking the fuck out. So again, at what point does pathology start? And normal health begin? Like that's why this whole thing is so stupid to pathologize anything. Because all I did was stand up and lie, and I created infinite thousands of different responses. And so all of medicine's going to go in and go, you're right, you're wrong. You're kind of, you're this type 2. You're this other. You're this freak. Oh God, never seen you before. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And so again, I'm just an idiot on a stage. But all of life is going to be a bunch of different people on stages, and you're going to have different responses. That's why I've said a spoonful of the same food and 100 different people will get 100 different responses. A spoonful in 100 different moments of your life of you're going to have 100 different responses. And we're blaming food? How the hell does that make any sense? The body only heals. Even mind, emotions, feelings, thoughts. It doesn't work that way. The human variable is the one that we're going to do. We just can't replicate it. That's why everybody in business and medicine gets all frustrated because they want to be able to reproduce a fix and a cure and a remedy and a solution, a therapy. You can't do it. It will never be that way. Not ever. That's why I say all forms of medicine are gone. They are gone. There's no truth to any of them. Um, Everything we do has a feeling and an emotion and a thought really added to it. I was even taking myself through it because I wanted to punch through and see if this was true. Even just me toeing the ground and putting my feet in the mud to stand and do spinal hygiene. Like as I'm looking at the ground, even like the dirt on my feet, I'm recalling a memory. The dirt on my feet, I'm picturing the flower and it's triggering a memory and it's going into these things here. And I have, even if it's fleeting and small, or they discontinue a flavor of something at the grocery store and I'm grieving the loss of that flavor. Like there's still a level of grief. Is it as big as the death of my brother? I don't think so. Just kidding, Taylor. Of course not. But there's different grades, but there's always going to be a feeling and emotion. Even if it's something you don't really give a shit about, there's still something on some level. They can measure something if you wanted to, or you would go, yeah, I have a feeling towards that. Even if I'm just mindlessly sitting watching a show to just check out because I want to do mental rest, right? There's all forms of rest. I don't know, mental rest. I'm going to do something that just doesn't take any brain power, but there's still, I'll watch an episode of something and it throws me back to and even a fleeting memory or a fleeting experience or even just the thing there. You're still responding in some way, and there will always be a thought, feeling, and emotion attached to everything that we do. So it is involved and threaded through everything. Through what? The physical body. It's the only reason you feel it. You have chemistry that is being secreted by physical glands, and they're going into receptor glands, and that's all bathed in a fluid, a tangible fluid that's coating your body and held within this tissue and framed in what we call a skull and nerves. Like it's all physical, mental, electrical, like it's all everything all the time. And so when we get to what can I do for solutions, we're still laying the groundwork of you owning there is no thought, feeling, or emotion that is ever a pathology, no matter meniscus, bone, cartilage, plasma, blood, lymph. The tissues that manage the forces and energy of all of your life are muscles. Which muscles? All of them. So for you, as I said, for you to feel happy, your musculature responds to that chemistry of that response that you had with that encounter. To feel sad and make a face and cry and writhe, and your musculature handles it. To feel extremely happy, your muscle handles it. To feel extremely sad and cry, your musculature handles it. To handle walking in the sun, your musculature. To handle digesting and breaking down foods, your muscle handles it. Yes, everything is involved, but your muscle is predominantly the tissue that manages the forces and energy of your life. And why we start there is because I need you to start to add coherent muscle to your system, because your muscle is your dollar, your budget that you get to spend on doing the work we're about to go into. Your muscle is what allows you to take on harder to digest foods, higher energy foods. Your muscle is what allows you to make that decision to be able to process something as powerful as the sunlight. Your musculature is what allows you to make every decision you can do, because again, it's the only thing you can control. You do not beat your heart. You do not move your liver. You do not digest food. You do not pancreatic response. You do not breathe. You can like do stuff, but you're gonna breathe. You do not grow skin. You do not flush lymph. You do not. The only thing you can control, muscle. And that is what you feel that hurts. That is when you have that pit in your stomach because somebody's not telling you something. It's a contractile tissue. That's when I had food poisoning, which isn't caused by bacteria. That's stupid. I should be able to burn that and digest a battery. Why couldn't I digest that food? And that was a homemade food. Damn. But my contraction to get it all up out of me. It was such a powerful muscular contraction to be able to cough and expel phlegm, or be able to sneeze, or be able to procreate a child, or be able to survive a surgery, or be able to survive chemo, or to be able to survive the news that your brother passed away, or to be able to survive the lithium and Seroquel, all that stuff. To be able to survive anything is muscle. So I'm assuming you guys want to change some stuff. That's why you're in on this class. Then if you want to make some changes, and some of them are going to be pretty big, we need to add coherent muscle, usable muscle. And what I say about that is I want easily as a monkey. Can't, excuse me. It's the connection to the muscle. It's the connection and our emotions and thoughts and feelings connected to that tissue. You're fucking absolutely right. Not just our emotions can shut down muscle, but our muscle can affect emotions. Both ways. It's going both ways. And we're going to get to that. So when I say coherent muscle, sometimes it doesn't show up. You want to be the person that's very mushy when you're touched, but when you turn it on, it's just like a piece of iron. That's why I train the way I train and guide people to training the way they train. Because just like, could you imagine the survivability of somebody who doesn't know how to cook for themselves, clean themselves, shower themselves, wipe themselves, drive themselves, put themselves to bed? We already know this. They need fucking care. The survivability of the person taking care of them is not good. So it's a struggle. People have to train themselves, know how to train themselves before they know how to cook for themselves. Because the muscle that they have is what allows them to cook for themselves. Lose the muscle, now we have this training dependency, and then all of a sudden now we're just gaining all this stuff. We have no idea how to use it. We have this stuff, we don't know how to use it. And the easiest way to add looking muscle, sizable muscle, is weight. You can put weight on a drunk monkey and you will have a physical response. But that monkey won't know how to connect to the musculature to create these changes and do all this stuff. That's why weightlifting is the last choice. It is a stimulus, but it's the last choice. And so again, we're going to get into that. I'm not getting into how to train or do anything, but whatever you're doing in your training, we're going to go in on how you can go in mentally and emotionally and channel, and why you would then exit the groups, because you can't do this with a group or if somebody's guiding you. So if you're training yourself, which I hope so, or if you're going to branch off into that, there's things that you can do to bring in this mental capacity to it. No, forgiveness is going to be important, including with you. That's the next big section here. I want to go into that. You have to be consistent, because there is action. You have to take action, blind action. There are going to be days where you can barely fucking see. You can barely make a sentence. You can barely lift an arm. You could give a fuck if your house blew up, or if the world continues, or the depths. And I know you guys have been through this because you've experienced your life, and this is the capacity. If we can feel it, it's right. If we can feel it, it's accurate to us. Might not make sense to somebody else. So again, we have to be consistent with some level of action, even during those moments. That's why I start with training. And again, if I could say, there were months and months and months of last